What a Catch, Part 61, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 60 parts of this story, you can find a link to it in the description box below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below in support of more fanfiction. Nino Lahif thought that he was used to the sounds of a city. He grew up in Paris after all, but America was something else. It was more... He didn't have a word for it. Besides, his English was only subpar at best. The only reason he was conversational in it is because his best friend, Adrian Agreste, made him learn it when he started working for him. Adrian had helped both himself and Alia out several times when money was tight, whether it was employing them through the Agreste family businesses or straight up giving them money when their pride could handle it. New York City doesn't smell as bad as Paris. Rather, as loud and dirty as it was, everything in this city felt more exciting than the one he grew up in. Perhaps it was the way the streets were laid out, or the diversity in them. Nino wasn't sure, but it was different. New York City was different than Paris, but it felt like it was speaking to him. He may be here for Adrian, but Nino had this overwhelming feeling that his life was about to change. "What can I do you for?" the attendant asked. Yes, hi," Nino began. "I'm hoping to pick up the key for apartment 907. "I need to see your ID." Nino felt a wave of anxiety rush over him before he sighed and smiled at the attendant. "It's my boss's, actually, but I should be on the list of approved tenants." "Again, name and ID?" "Nino Lahif." He slid his passport across the counter without making eye contact. 907, you said? "Yeah." He wrapped his fingers on the marble finish and smiled as the attendant gave him the key. "Upstairs and to the right, 9th floor." "Thank you." A hot elevator ride and 3 wrong left turns later, Nino was at Adrian's door. It wasn't until after he had the door unlocked that he noticed the mailman walking down the hallway. "Hey," the stranger said. "You live here?" "Yeah, I'm staying here." "Why?" "Great. I have a package for you. Can you sign here, Mr. Adrian Agreste?" He held out a pen. "Sure," Nino said, not bothering to correct him. Talk about perfect timing. He was about ready for a nap after a day of travel. It's ironic. After 8 hours of sitting in one spot, you would think he'd be ready to move around a bit, but that wasn't the case this time. He wanted to lie down, close his eyes, and listen to the sounds of the city. Nino was already missing Alia, but they had been dating for over a decade, and their relationship was stronger than a silly little 8-hour flight. They would be okay. He set the package aside on the kitchen island before stepping into the bedroom to change out of his sweaty t-shirt. It wasn't until he was shirtless after taking a shower that he picked it up again to inspect it. It might have been curiosity, or perhaps his habit of opening his mail as soon as it came, but Nino grabbed a knife from the woodblock and sliced the tape holding the package together. Inside was a little black box with red markings on top. "This kinda looks like a jewelry box," he muttered, picking it up for a better look. "He isn't dating anyone, is he? He said he was single at the wedding. Is he interested, or is this something an ex is returning to him?" He wondered if there was a necklace or a pair of earrings inside. Adrian wasn't so foolish as to buy a ring for a girl, especially not without telling him first. Right? Nino had to make sure. It was Adrian, after all. A hopeless romantic with money to burn. He sat down and set his shirt beside him, ready to put on after he finished snooping. Of course, what happened next wasn't impacted by whether he was shirtless or not, for as he opened the wooden box there was a flash of green light, leaving him to rub his eyes as his retinas attempted to adjust. "Where's Adrian?" Nino looked up to see a floating black glob staring at him. This was certainly not what he expected to see after a long day of travel. Maybe it was the jet lag getting to him. "I'm serious," the blob said, its green eyes piercing him. "Where's Adrian?" "This is a pretty advanced toy," Nino said, grabbing it out of the air and feeling the material. Squishy. Some kind of malleable substance. "I didn't realize he was branching out of fashion and into children's electronics." "I'm not a product, you oaf," the black toy said, peeling itself out of his hand. "My name is Plag." "Okay, Plag. Are you Adrian's assistant then? Like Tony Stark's dummy?" It shot him "you did not just say that" look and sighed. "First of all, I'm more like Jarvis. And second of all, no, I'm not his assistant. I'm his Kwame." "His what now?" "I make him Cat Noir." He took a moment to process what it had said before bursting out laughing. "Yeah, right, and I'm Iron Man. Good one. But I'm serious. What are you? A tiny robot dude?" "Kwame. I already said I'm a Kwame." "I like my name for you better. All right, tiny robot. What can you do?" "I'm not..." The glob sighed. "Okay, you know what? Just put the ring on, okay?" "What? Why?" "Just do it. We need to get back to Adrian as soon as possible." "Hey, isn't this the ring he always wears? Why do you have it, tiny robot dude?" "You're more frustrating than a teenager. Just get that hunk of metal on your finger, please." Yeah. I kind of feel like we shouldn't be doing this." "Desperate times, desperate measures. Come on, kid, just do it." Nino pried the ring out of the box and slipped it on. He didn't think it would fit at first, but now that it was on, it was the perfect size. Weird. Did he and Adrian wear the same ring size? That's surprising. I didn't think it would fit. "It's a magic ring. Of course it fits." "Huh. What did you say your name was?" "Again, it's Plag." "Nice to meet ya." Yeah. Do me a favor. Say claws out for me. That's how you transform." "Transform? What do you mean? Why would saying claws out transform?" Nino began to question Plag's request, only to be swept up in a blinding light. A moment later his clothes were gone, and Nino found himself plastered in leather instead. "Hey, tiny robot," Nino began, looking himself over. The Kwame was nowhere in sight, so Nino made his way to the bathroom to check himself out in the mirror. He was, indeed, covered head to toe in leather. His glasses were replaced by a mask that he couldn't peel off, and it felt like he had gained 3 pounds of muscle. "This is different," he whispered. If Nino didn't know any better, he would say he looked like Cat Noir. But he did know better. He could feel the energy, like some mysterious power source pulsing through him. He wasn't dumb. He knew what was happening. Nino was now Cat Noir. And he didn't know what to do next. Thank you so much for listening. Part 62 will be available on Saturday. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fanfiction. I'll catch you next time.